Hello all, my name is Robel. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Humley in the UK and in Sweden. I am very, very proud to introduce Humley's first ever live webinar. It's an opportunity for you guys to get to know us and an opportunity for us to share a little bit about what Humley is about, who we are, what we believe in, and how we can serve you guys better than what we believe others can. I'm joined today by Maddie from the Hampshire team. She's a business developer, and we'll go over the products and services that we offer. Ludwig from the product design team, who's been talking to you at the start of this presentation, and he's going to go over a little bit about the portal and the technology. And Megan Carter, who will be joining us at some point today, who is a head teacher at Bearwood Primary School, who uses our booking portal and can answer some questions to sort of give a better insight on the other side. So excited to go through all of that with you. Again, just touching on what Ludwig said around questions. There's shapes in the bottom right-hand corner. So if you click on that and then click on Q&A, you can ask questions throughout the webinar, and we'll try to get back to them at the end of the webinar. If we can't get through all of them, we'll get a response to you by the end of today. Cool. Thank you. I'll move on to the next slide. I'll get started. So a little bit about Humley's journey. So Humley was founded in 2015 by Gustav and Christopher, two Swedes in Gothenburg, who started off initially while they were at university, going out and doing supply teaching themselves. They found a gap in the market, and they realized how inefficient the supply teaching industry is, and decided to try and make it a little bit more efficient with educators and schools and nurseries at the forefront of their mind. So using technology to leverage that. They went and did supply initially, got family and friends involved doing supply, and then eventually started to hire experienced educators as well to build Humley's first few years. By 2017, Humley had done 100,000 worked hours, which is quite significant growth in the space of 2 years, and a feat that they're both very, very proud of. By 2019, Humley was a market leader in the Swedish industry. 30% of all supply was booked through Humley, which is quite significant. And this sort of led us to the international expansion that ended up happening 2 years down the line. If you see the timing, I think it was maybe planned a little bit sooner, but something called COVID got in the way. So it's a bit of a brave move coming to the UK in 2021 in the heights of the pandemic, and doing that through some acquisitions. So Simply Supply, as a lot of you are familiar with, Ears, Exact, and a few others. So in 2021, we started our UK journey. The CEO of the company, Gustav, moved over to the UK. He's still here, so he seems to have enjoyed his time here, and set off the journey for basically making supply teaching a little bit more accessible in the UK. And throughout that journey, we've grown, and I'll go over on that in the next slide, but we've grown over many locations. And to date, in 2024, we have basically filled 4.5 million worked hours since launch. So a significant amount of hours and a significant amount of teaching hours that have been fulfilled through Humley. Move on to the next slide. So far, we started in Gothenburg. We are currently based in Newcastle, Preston, Birmingham, Milton Keynes, Fareham, and we've recently entered the London market as well. So these are the areas that we have offices. We also supply many, many other regions and cities that aren't on this. This is just where our offices are. So we're expanding fast, and there is a need for what we're doing, and I'll let Maddie and the team go into that in a little bit more detail later in the presentation. But just to wrap things up, from my end, our vision is for every school and nursery to have seamless access to quality staff anytime and every time. Our ethos essentially is to remove the focus on the consultant. We don't want to look at things from a consultant's perspective. We want to solve problems that impact educators and schools and nurseries. And I think that's where we differ a little bit from other other traditional recruitment agencies. And I'll also let Maddie go into a little bit more detail about how we specifically do that. So if you want to take over, Maddie.
Thank you, Robel. Good morning, everybody. So here at Humley, we're very much about the digital marketplace. Every one of our educators has an app on their phone, which makes everything much more easier for them, as well as all of our clients having the very user-friendly client portal, which gives seamless access to their local community of quality educators. The 3 types of bookings that we are currently fulfilling are urgent cover, short-term, and long-term cover. Urgent cover is really on-the-day bookings. Someone's calling sick, you're at home, you're getting ready for work, you're trying to get the kids off to school, and you have that annoying phone call, oh, I need a year 2 teacher today. Well, that's where the beauty of our portal comes into play. You can hop onto it on your mobile phone, you can place that booking, and then you can just leave it to whir away in the background while you carry on with your morning. Once you get to work, our team will have received that booking, they will have found you someone, and they will be ready with a phone call to tell you exactly who is coming to teach today. Sometimes the way the bookings are placed, we don't even know that the booking, it comes in and it goes out before we even get to work. So it's quite fast and it's something that you don't have to worry about. Short-term cover, anything up to 4 weeks. Again, you can use your portal for this because you can select your preferred educators, people that have been to the school before or nursery. They know the children, they know the setup. And also you've got the opportunity there to upload any kind of booking information, any information that you need to pass on to the educator, or anything that you need to pass on to us that the educator doesn't need to see. If you prefer, you can speak to one of our dedicated team that can also talk you through the booking and place the booking for you. The long-term placements, these are generally long-term sickness, maternity cover, or even interim bookings whilst you are looking to place someone permanently. You have a dedicated operations specialist that you can speak to and give details, in-depth details about the booking. They will record all of this and then endeavour to get CVs across to you within 48 hours. They will take you through the placement from CV stage through to interview stage through to booking. At interview stage, we will discuss the fees for the role. These could be hourly, they could be daily, and it's all dependent upon the role, and each role will be different. We pride ourselves on being APSCO compliant and accredited, and because of this we have a vigorous vetting service, so only the top 4% of our educators will make it through to your setting. I'm hoping that I can now introduce you to Megan Carter from Bearwood Primary. If she's not here, then we could move on to the client portal and come back to Megan.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, we'll do that then.
Yeah. Ludwig?
Absolutely, thank you. Okay, so my name is Ludwig. I work as a design lead at Humley, been here since 2022, and I think that the best way to showcase the portal is to do it in the portal. So I'm gonna switch that up now so we can present how it looks in there. So when you've logged on to the portal, this is how it looks. Today, my name is Albus Dumbledore, and as you can see, I have a few bookings this week. As any good TV chef, I have prepared beforehand. So I have a booking today with a supply teacher called Alex, and I've had a few bookings yesterday as well. But we think the top priority with our client booking portal is, of course, booking supply. So that's what we're going to go through today. You access the booking form through the big button in the top. If you're on a mobile phone, it would look something like this. It's a bit smaller, and then you find it if you go to the menu here in the top. Yes, so if you want to place a booking, simply press this button. Today, my user only has access to one school. If you have access to multiple schools, you would be able to select them first, which school you're trying to book supply for. But today, I'm booking for Hogwarts in the Fareham region. And as you can see, it's preset to next week, and that's because we're in the middle of the day. It's probably not useful to book someone for the afternoon today, so we set it to the end. If you go into the booking portal in the morning, then you're going to get a booking for the same day. But you can, of course, easily switch this up to something else. So, for example, I need help Wednesday afternoon. Let's switch to maybe from 1 to 4. And I need a teaching assistant. If you would like to, you can select multiple roles here. That would broaden your search. Let us pick between different types of educators. It makes the chance of finding someone bigger. But of course, if you need something particular, for example, you need a qualified nursery nurse or a primary teacher that has a QDS, then select that and we'll do our best to fill it with someone that matches that competence. And of course, information is key. So if you know what year group the person is going to cover, please add that. All of our teachers always want as much information as possible. And the better information they have beforehand, the better they're going to be at supporting your school when they get there. If they don't know what they're going to do, it's hard for them to prepare. And if you want to, you can also write some more detailed information about the job, or you can just add a nice message for them so they feel welcome. Then you confirm that, and then you select a contact person. So I'm going to select one of my colleagues here. I could select myself as well, but today I think it's better. If we need to confirm something, if we need to ask something, this is the person they're supposed to contact. When you want to fill the job, you can decide between two different methods. Either you let Humbly search among all of our educators that matches this role, or if you've booked through us before, you can request specific educators. Unfortunately, none of the educators I've booked before, I've only booked with 2 different persons, so none of them are available, or maybe they're already booked with me. So I need to find someone new through Humbly. We have lots of great educators, so that's not a problem. And then I confirm that. If I wish to, I can add a private comment to the Humbly team. That's useful if you have something particular that you want to add, but maybe you don't want that information to be shown to the educators. But you still want the Humbly team to take that into consideration when looking for a matching supply staff. And you can also add invoicing information such as purchase order numbers or those sort of things if you want to. None of this is mandatory, but if you want to and if you need to from your perspective, then add them. And then you submit the booking request, and here you can see that it's successfully created. You can see a summary of what I selected, and then you can go to the booking details to follow up on how the status is of this booking. So as I just placed it, we are searching for supply staff. Sometimes it doesn't take more than just 15 seconds to find someone, but often it takes a couple of minutes. And as you can see, if I look at one of my other bookings, for example, this one, when a booking is filled, you can find information about the supply teacher in this section instead. You can also, if you want to, maybe I didn't add any invoicing information when I created my booking, but then I can add that afterwards. Just remember to do it before we invoice it, of course.
Quick one, Ludwig, sorry. There's a question coming from Mrs. S. Cooper. How do you delete ex-members of staff?
If you want to delete members of staff, you find that through the portal profile here. Unfortunately, we can't delete users ourselves through the portal, so you have to go through your local office, and they can help you to delete them from our internal administrative tool. But you can see here, all of these people have login accounts to Hogwarts Primary School. It's only me in this case, but if you want to invite someone else, you can do that. But you can also see if there are more people. If you want someone to be removed, then just contact us and we'll have it sorted the same day. And here you can also add useful information about the setting to make the educators feel welcome and understand what they are supposed to do. Where should they report when they arrive, or what should they do when they leave? This is great information for all educators to know how everything works in each different school. If you are an educator, it looks something like this. When I open a job at Hogwarts Primary School, I can see information about the setting here. So everything we can add here helps our educators to be well prepared when they arrive. Thank you. I'm gonna switch back to the presentation that we have here. I think we have Megan joining us now.
Hello, Megan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, everybody.
So Megan is the head teacher at Bearwood Primary, one of our longest standing clients. And if you can just please give us an overview of your experience of Humley and how you find working with our user-friendly portal, that would be great.
Yeah, so we use Humley a lot for either the odd job here and there for cover, sickness cover, for instance, or for longer term projects we've used in the past. We access that through the portal, and we put in the information we need, and we get the supply we need. We're always really pleased with the quality of what we get, and sometimes if it's a bit more of a specialist provision, a specialist placement, we communicate that with Humley and they come back to us with options of what we might need.
And I think you've actually taken on quite a few people permanently from us as well, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. Over the years, we have quite a few of my TAs, particularly, are from Humley. It's a great way with the current challenges around appointing, staff appointments in schools. It gives us an opportunity to get to know them, but also it gives them an opportunity to get to know us and maybe move away from supply work for a while. So yeah, it's been really great. We've got some really, really high quality members of staff from Humley. Yeah.
That's brilliant. Thank you. And would you recommend our portal to people?
I would, yeah, it's really great. So obviously you can always ring Humley and they're pretty much always there, but also that knowing that I can just pop the information on and then I get an email, because you can go on the portal and find out where your request is, but also you get emails updating you as well. So sometimes, when I'm running around in the morning at home, I might click on my emails to find out whether that position's been filled, but equally I might I sometimes get a phone call from Humley to say whether they can meet that need or not. So that's really helpful too.
That's brilliant. Oh, well, thank you, Megan. We may have some questions for you later, so stay put. But thank you very much.
Thank
That's
you.
great.
Much appreciated, both. I think we've done the demo portal, but I think this is the part where hopefully we've got some questions. So we've answered one of the questions. We've got another 2 questions, but if there's any other questions that you've got, please try to put them in now, so we can try and answer them for everyone else's benefit as well. If not, you can also answer them, ask the questions at any point after the webinar through your local teams as well. But I think the first question is around pricing structure. Maddie, do you want to go through that?
Yes, so basically we have a fixed margin with transparent pricing for all schools and nurseries. It's probably best to speak to your local office because they may vary slightly from region to region.
Yeah, I think just to echo that as well, like depending on where you are in the country, I think there's different prices and expectations. So it's transparent in terms of a margin, but please give a call to your local office or reach out, and I'm sure they'll be able to answer that very easily. Thank you for that. Another one is around, can you talk a bit more about your quality assurance process? So we've got technology that we built in-house, essentially, that looks after all compliance. So if anyone's DBS is running out, we get automatic notifications. If anyone's references are running out, quite similar, they get sort of blocked from using the app and the portal, and we can't send them out, basically. So we have gatekeeping mechanisms that stop us from sending non-compliant educators out to schools. So that's one element of it, and to ensure that we have a high quality of educators, we've got standard minimum requirements, which is pretty in depth and goes through and make sure that we only hire the best of the best educators, especially with the portal and access to schools as well. So we try to do that at the moment. I mean, we've passed every audit that we've gone through, so there's no reason to say that there's any issues with how we're doing things. There is 2 more questions. So what is the process if we were considering employing someone and we had been booking through Humbly, and the costs involved? So Maddie, potentially, do you want to go through that?
Yes. So if someone has been with you and they've applied for one of the roles that you have, there would be an introduction fee payable. And our standard terms of business are 15% of their salary with a minimum of 1,750. However, there is the temp to perm process whereby you can have them for a certain amount of time on supply and then you can take them free of charge. So there are always options. And they've worked out quite well for us with Bearwood, haven't they, Megan?
Yes, definitely. I mean, we've been through times where we've taken one member of staff and we've done it the first way that Maddie described, but we've done it where we've taken a few of Humbly's over to us, where we've done it the second way because financially that made more sense for us. But we always discuss those sorts of things with Humbly and they're really supportive on getting the right people in the right places. So yeah, it's quite foolproof, really.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And the last question so far, do you often get teachers with SEN experience coming through for short-term and long-term bookings? Matt?
Yes, we do. Yes, we get quite a few people with SEN experience coming through. A lot of them, you know, they may have had a permanent role doing that, and for whatever reason, they've left that permanent role to go on supply. It might be work-life balance, it might be pressures of the job, and they're happy doing, you know, short-term and long-term roles for us in those roles. So yes, we do.
I think just to add to that as well, we have people internally that have worked in SEN schools that have got that experience, that understand the requirements that are needed to be working as an SEN supply teacher. So we have experience of that and make sure that we send suitable candidates and understand that there's more maybe stricter process for getting educators through to an SEN school, and we know that the needs are different. So just to touch on that as well. I think that's all the questions. If there's any other questions, I'll give a couple of seconds or so while I wrap up. But thank you so much for attending. We had a £1,000 of free supply as a golden ticket, which one of you on this call will win. That will be communicated today. So keep your ears peeled, keep your eyes peeled, sorry. And just wanted to say a massive thank you for joining us for our first ever webinar. It's been a real success and the turnout's been really, really good. And if there's any other questions that you guys have got, anything that you're unsure of, anything that you feel as though maybe we can even improve on, that we're not doing, we're all ears. We're always here for feedback, and the client feedback is always the best feedback. So please share that with us. There are also, we've also got a client team in each region as well. So Maddie's the client representative for the South. We've got Sally, who's in the Midlands. We've got Christopher in the Northwest, and we've got Rob and Dave in the Northeast. So we've got a team that will look after you and try to tailor to your needs as much as possible across the country. So if there's any questions around anything like that, please reach out to your teams. One last thing, there is an incentive for everyone who's joined this call to get 10% off, I think, 4 bookings. So please reach out to your team and they can go through the process on how to redeem that, just as a thank you. There is one final question from Beth. What is your policy in booking replacement when agency staff call in sick?
So unless otherwise directed, we will always try and replace a sick member of staff. Sometimes the setting doesn't want us to replace, and there will be notes on the file to say that, but 9 times out of 10 we will do our best to replace, and we will let you know as soon as possible that member of staff is sick and we have a replacement for them.
I think thank you for that. I think just in terms of like the client portal and things like that, bookings that are put on the portal, if I'm not mistaken, you might want to correct me on this, but 65% of them are taken within 15 minutes or are filled within 15 minutes, which is, I think, a significant percentage, and goes on about around the speed of how quickly we book supply. And so I think it's an efficient process, and hopefully you can try the technology yourself. We're not here to replace people with an app and to replace those relationships. But we also understand that it would be good to have different options. So sometimes you're in a rush and you don't have time to call someone and speak to someone on the phone. You can just put it on the portal and we'll do all of that work in the background and give you a call. But sometimes you also want that conversation. You want to be able to speak to someone about their supply needs in a little bit more detail. And during working hours, we're available on the phone most times, and sometimes even outside of that. So we have a two-pronged approach, and we want to cultivate good relationships. And I think they start with sending out good supply teachers to your settings. I think that's fundamental above anything else, and we work really, really hard to make sure that happens. So just want to end on that. If there's any other questions, please reach out to your teams and we'll be happy to answer. But thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your time. Really, really appreciate it. And make sure to reach out to your teams around your 10% discount as well. Thank you all. And thank you for those who have presented. Thank you, Megan, in particular, for joining us and giving us an insight from a client perspective as well. We really appreciate it. And thank you to Maddie and Ludwig as well for your inputs. Much appreciated. Thank you all.
Thank you.
See you later. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.